In this next video, I want to talk about gathering information from the scene of the injury. This could be many different types of places. So I'm going to acknowledge that off the bat. Typically what we're looking at though, we're looking at car crashes, falls, dog bites. We could also be talking about a medical malpractice case. We could be talking about a work injury. We could be talking about a variety of different things. Many of the same principles apply to all of them, but I do want to acknowledge it off the fact that we could be talking about a variety of different ways. Generally though, I'm going to be talking about fall cases and talking about car crashes. Some of the things we're looking at when it comes to a car crash is we want information pertaining to why the crash happened and how the crash happened, why and how. And then we're also looking at who may have been involved and who may have information from it. Now that applies to any of the different types of cases. When it comes to a roadway, a car crash, we're looking for physical signs. We're looking for yaw marks, skid marks. Yaw marks is whenever the car goes side to side. A skid mark most people are familiar with. It's whenever the tires are locked up and you go forward. This is all valuable information that we can use in case we need to get an accident reconstructionist or just determining liability on our own. And many times what I'm able to do is just take the skid marks alone and determine the speed of the other vehicle. There's a formula that you're able to use and it gives you a pretty accurate way of determining how fast the other vehicle is going. But we're looking to see, are there any visibility issues? Is there anything that's obstructing the view? One time we had a case where we were able to establish liability against one of those companies that the boxes that you rent, they bring them out to your house. Well, this one was blocking the curb. It was blocking the view of the person that hit our client. And so there was liability both against the at-fault driver, but against that company because it was against city code to put it in the roadway and they blocked the roadway. So we're looking for things like that, visibility. We're looking for weather conditions. We're looking for pieces of the vehicle. These are all things that we're looking at. When we go out there, we're also looking, all right, are there possible cameras in the area? We find cameras all over the place that people wouldn't think of. The way we're able to find most of those is just canvassing the neighborhood. Door to door, hey, do you have a camera? This is the issue. This is where the fall happened. This is where the crash happened. Do you happen to know if you have a camera that would be facing this intersection or where this happened or this fall happened? Or do you know any other of your neighbors that might have this information? That is a very valuable source of information, especially these days. And many times, surprisingly, we've had just fluke luck where there is a neighbor that was in the area, happened to be filming at the time and caught the incident on camera. So these are the things that we're looking for when it comes to scene visits. Same things apply whether it's a premises case. If it's a dog bite, very similar. We have to be very, very careful, not necessarily because of the dogs, that's one concern, but many times those are very emotional situations and we'd be very careful. We usually will send an investigator out for an issue like that because usually they're former law enforcement. Many times they've got a firearm if they need it, but they're able to handle those situations pretty well just because of their training. When it comes to a medical malpractice, or let's even say a product liability, I'll use a faulty hip device. Many times people will have information that we wouldn't know about unless they told us about it. For example, the doctor allows you to keep something. That could be valuable information sometimes, and it's information that we wouldn't know about. And this applies to any type of case. Maybe you have photographs of the doctor's office, or you have a photograph of wherever you fell, or maybe you happen to be taking a photograph right before you got into the vehicle when you were driving and it showed something about the lights, or you have a video of the lights, which is another thing when it comes to car crashes is we go out and we will record the light sequences because the defendants in many situations will say, well, I had a green light and because I know that because of the light sequence, and they'll tell us the light sequence, and the light sequence is incorrect and it'll show that they're lying about it. And that'll be in the police report as well. Sometimes the police officers will not go and look at the actual sequences. They'll just take the statements and they won't do much more than that. When we go out and look at the light sequences, we'll be able to determine whether or not what they're saying could be true or it could be false. Because sometimes they're right about the sequence, but they just happen to be lying about what actually happened. That happens quite often, actually. So those are things we're looking at. But if there's anything that you have in your possession, we want to make sure we get that from you for your case because it could be valuable. Even if you don't think it's valuable, it definitely could be valuable. But scene visits are vitally important, and we do like to do those whenever we can. Sometimes it's just not possible for whatever reason, but whenever we can do those, we like to do those. We can get some pretty valuable information that you just wouldn't get without going out there. And I'll just give you one last example because just going on Google Earth doesn't give you the information. Some of you might be thinking, well, if you go on Google Earth, you can get all the information you need. Not necessarily. We went out one time where a defendant claimed that the stop sign was not there. That was the defense. And lo and behold, we went out there and we found that the stop sign was laying down. Okay, it was just laying down. Someone had knocked it over. It did not, in that situation, affect the case for us. We actually were still pursuing a recovery, but it is valuable information that when we were on Google Earth, it showed that the stop sign was upright. We went to the scene, we definitely saw that it was laying down. That is a situation where going to the scene was really, really valuable. If there's anything that you can think of for your case that you think absolutely you will need to go out and look at this, let us know. Or if you have anything in your possession, obviously let us know as well. If you have any questions about anything, have any comments, text us, email us, or give us a call at 888-550-4026. Whatever's easier for you, let us know. And have a great day. See you, buddy.